Hello everybody, welcome to Scribbles with Jonathan. My name is Jonathan Rector. You can check out my website and my work at jonathanrector.com. And if you guys are on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff, just head on over to my website and you can go through there. I also have a fan page set up, so if you do go to the Facebook page, you'll be directed to that. And I apologize, it's been so long since I've done a video with you guys, and things are starting to pick up. So I'll be able to start doing a little bit more recording, kind of the work I'm doing like right now, and I'd like to get back into the instructional thing. So what I am planning on doing is making a little master list, I guess you could call it, of topics, and I'm literally thinking going from head to toe. So getting back into the how to draw the head, some ideas with that. But like always, please leave comments, questions, concerns, all that good stuff in the little underbar there, or if you'd like to just send me a private message, or if you want to email me, knock yourself out, and please suggest topics that you guys are interested in, and all that. And today what I'm going to talk about is using a program called Google Sketchup. I'm not going to open SketchUp and show you what I'm doing. What I am going to show you is how I've integrated it into doing my comic book work. And I will start off by saying this isn't going to be a pros and cons version of using this, because you'll see very quickly that what I'm about to do, a lot of people, and when I say a lot of people, I mean, and if this is you, I apologize, but in quotes here, artsy fartsy people that would think this is just tracing and I'm not an artist because I do this and all that stuff. I'm not going to get into that debate. There's not enough time for that. But for those of us that are interested in finding out ways to increase workflow, speed, and just to make you happy doing comics, or just creating all this work, this might be something that you'd be interested in and you might not have already done. So very quickly, I'll show you what this page is about. This is a project called The Standard, and I'll include a link in the underbar. There's already been 3 issues out so far. This is issue 4. And in the first panel here, let me just zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit more what's going on. This first panel here, it might be a little hard to see, but this is the thumbnail that I've blown up to a 300 DPI image for the comic page that I'll be working on. All the trim lines, the live area, all that's already in there. And in this first panel, what is happening is our main character, Gilbert, who is also a superhero, is leaving his house and he's going to teach. He's a teacher. So it's early morning, and he's got his suitcase. As he comes out, he's swarmed by, on the left here, and on the right, he's being flanked by reporters. So he's walking out of his house, and he's kind of like holding onto his briefcase. And everybody's like, trying to get all over him, like, oh, I need to hear, oh, the superhero's back. Second panel is, he takes off into the sky, just takes off, and it's kind of like a pretty extreme angle. And I'll show you how I tackled that a little bit as we go. And then as he's flying up here, we have a helicopter sort of chasing him with a reporter sticking out. And then he lands at the school, and there's a bunch of people there. And then the main character, Gilbert, again, is with this other girl that she plays a little integral part of the story as well. They're looking off panel, and we go to the next page. But as you can see, I don't want to say there's a lot of perspective and background work that needs to be done, but there is, and traditionally what I would do is I would just start, let me just go into the panel 1 here. Did I get rid of it? Okay, I did. I'll start in panel 2. What I would normally do, and I would do this if I was working with a pencil, doing traditional drawing methods, is a perspective, okay? And this is for panel 2 here. So as you can see, the perspective is way off. It's a simple one right here. This is just a 1-point perspective, and it might seem like it's a little off because right here in the center is where it should be, because that's where the focal point's going. But what I was using this for is this is the perspective for his house. And when I turn on the layer, you can see it a little bit better. Again, for panel 3, there's your 1-point perspective. Everything's going to get pulled to that. Even my thumbnail here, he doesn't necessarily follow that perspective 100%, so I will have to go in there and adjust that. I think I have one for here as well. Yep, now it's looking a little muddy. The beautiful thing about working digital, and you can do this digital on your computer as well, and then print it out, and then traditionally go through how you normally do comics. But what's really cool is you can change the color of your perspective grid. So the red here is to the perspective on the right, the blue is to the left, and then the green is, I guess, your plumb line or your vertical line. And so I have it all over there. Now, the reason why I want to say why I would do this as well is once I have this, essentially I could just start drawing like I normally would. I'd grab my pencil or your ink tool, and I could start drawing as I normally would. And I mean, I do this all the time with cityscapes. If it's big cityscapes, I'll go ahead and do it like this. I won't do the SketchUp model that I'm about to show you. The only time I do use SketchUp is for if it's something really complicated, like let's say somebody's driving a motorcycle, and it's just more efficient to have a motorcycle already done that you're going to use. Like if you're going to draw a Harley Davidson over and over again, that might be something you like and you enjoy doing that. So I would highly recommend continuing to do that. However, if you're more into the figure-based stuff, and I think a lot of people generally are. Like this panel here, where we've got Gilbert kind of like holding onto his briefcase and all these reporters. I'm more interested in showing the emotion in there. I don't really care too much about the background. Background is important, but again, that's not what I'm trying to get at with this lesson, I guess we'll call it. So, really quickly, I'll just show you. We'll turn it on. This right here is a SketchUp file. Let me just move all this stuff around here so we can clear it up. Whoops, panel 1, panel 5. Let me just turn the sketch layer off. So what I've done is I've created Gilbert's house in Google Sketchup, and I imported a lot of things. I'm not going to say I made everything here by scratch. I did use other people's files and things, but I designed his house the way I thought it would look as a traditional house for this guy. And the reason I did that, and this is my biggest promotion for using something like SketchUp or otherwise, like 3D Studio Max or any other kind of 3D software you've got. I have 6 issues to draw. You may have more, you may have less. You might be doing a graphic novel. Doesn't matter. If you have a recurring location, it's easier to do this because I think the average person isn't really going to notice. Yeah, it does look like it's, technical, I'll say, like somebody's really going in there with straight lines, but you could always just lower the opacity here like this and then grab a brush tool like you normally would. Let me just make a new layer here. And I mean, you could totally just start sketching over it like this, and giving it more like a hand-drawn look. And, nobody's going to ever really knock you for this. They might just say things like, oh, you need to use a ruler or something, But that's okay. That option is still there for you to have. Now, what I do, and this might be where it gets a little, some of you might think this is shady and all that stuff, but like I said, I know I have to draw this house throughout the series. So to save time, I just import it. I get the angle that I like, and then in Photoshop, since it's on its own layer, I can just I can move it around. I even I think rotated it to get it at like a little special angle like that. But you can see the freedom you're getting of the ability to change a shot. And anybody out there that's done comic book work before, I can't be alone in saying this. You guys and girls must be sharing this as well. Where it's, oh man, I wish I'd changed my perspective just a little bit. And if you find that error way down the road, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do about it except erase it and start over. And that's not an efficient way to spend your time, I feel. And again, without trying to pick fights, I'll just leave it at that for now. So once I have that, all I literally do is, let me just put the opacity up so I can see it. I make a new hue saturation layer over top of it so it's blue, and then I just draw over top of it, just like that. I get my 3 pixel brush and I draw over top. So let me just back it up here because we're not going to need all that. So if I turn it on, there you go. I have the background. It's all done. And then I'll go in there and I'll just add, I'll bang it up to make it look, so it's not so boring to look at. And that, I mean, that's it. Now I can go in there, I can start inking, I can start throwing line weights on to make things pop. But the average person isn't going to know how I got to this. And I mean, it's not a way to be deceiving or anything like that because that's not what I'm about. However, use yourself as an example. How many comic books have you read? How many pieces of art have you looked at where people spent 8 to 50 hours working on it? And especially a comic book page, how often do you spend on each panel? The information I'm giving the reader right here is all they need. A house. Now, when I overlap it and everything, I'm going to have to adjust my thumbnails a little bit because he's not going to be that close to it. However, all that information is there. And once I start putting the characters over top of this background really starts to disappear quick. So I know this lesson wasn't really a lesson. I just wanted to bring it up to you guys if you haven't been using Google SketchUp to at least look at it and think of it in a different way that you might be able to, apply it to what you're doing. You might be doing a space comic book and you want to draw like a really cool starship. It might be your main character's, his little like jetpack that he flies around space with. Instead of redrawing it all the time and always worrying about, oh God, like that angle is a little off, maybe try something like this. And one cautionary thing I'll leave with you guys and girls is that don't rely on doing what I just showed you too much because there is technical reasons for you to want to learn how to draw this kind of stuff without, I'll say, tracing or copying like how I showed you, which is essentially what we're doing. There are reasons that you will want to learn how to draw perspective. There are reasons why you want to know how to draw a car properly. There are things, forced perspective, such as this panel right here. Whoops, let me turn the sketch on. Right here, we're going to have the main character flying at us. If you don't understand perspective and you can't wrap your mind around it, spend the time to actually learn how to do it. Okay? If you're up against a deadline, those are totally different things. Just try not to put yourself up against a wall where you have to rely heavily on this sort of behavior. Because, again, I don't want to get into the pros and cons, but this is something I got to strive and really sync with some of you people, because I know a lot of people like to cut corners, and essentially that's what this is. This is cutting a corner. Instead of going in there and redrawing this house all the time, I'm just, manipulating it a bit. But a lot of you younger, like I know a lot of the people that watch these videos, they're a little bit younger and they're just getting into comics, or they're trying to find that next little thing, that thing to help them. And I hope that's what these are doing for you. However, just spend the time to understand the concepts behind this. Because if you don't, you're only handicapping yourself. It makes it easier so that when you do something like this panel here and I redrew it, if I have to always, maybe this house has like an underground department right here on the right hand side, and I can't make that. I have to organically like blow this house up. Let's say there's an explosion. I have to be able to go in there and make it look right. And if you don't have that concept, it makes it very difficult for you to apply it and break those rules, break that wall, that box that you're putting yourself in by doing this. So always give yourself an out. Always give yourself options. I guess that's ultimately what I'm trying to say. So again, thank you guys so much. I know there wasn't too much actual drawing content in this. Again, just trying to help you guys out, bring some more things to your attention, and hopefully we'll start rolling out some more videos, especially just videos of me just drawing and talking, because I think we get a lot of fun with that. And you guys can look forward to the Ustreams popping up once I get some more time away from the day job and all that stuff. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you feel free to share the video, like the video, spread all the videos I'm doing out there to other people to get them, turned on to comics and get them helping them as well. I mean, that's fantastic, and thank you guys so much for that. And as well, I will be putting a video out soon. There's a little contest I'm going to be making for my Facebook fan page to try to get that rolling a little bit as well. But I'll share some more information with you guys on that, because that'll primarily be next month. But thank you guys so much for watching. Keep making comics, keep reading comics. Take care, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.